So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto goes back in time with Kakashi to his Genin days. Part 6. If you guys enjoy this what if and want to see part 7, comment down below. And let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content. And leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also share this video with your friends. And check out the description. And check out my playlist. So let's start the video. Chapter 16. Okay, now that the preliminary matches are over, Hokage-sama will be explaining the third and final phase of the exam, which will take place 1 month from today, Obito announced. Why a month from now? Kiba asked. Because some of you have shown everything you have in the preliminary matches and need time to learn some new techniques and others have been injured and need the time to recuperate, Obito answered. So in that regard, I suppose Naruto doing nothing but standing there was actually good thinking. Of course, Naruto nodded sagely. Want to bet that didn't even occur to him? Sasuke asked. Sakura snorted. I may have been taught by Tsunade-sensei, that doesn't mean I have her gambling addiction or lack of common sense when it comes to taking bets. A little support would be nice, team, Naruto huffed. What? Sakura asked innocently. We're not disputing that it was a smart move, we just don't think it was an intentional one. That said, if anyone should do anything, Obito struggled for the most tactful way to phrase it, uninspired in the actual finals. I'm telling you now. You're not going to pass. Quite right, Minato agreed. Now, the third part of the exam is an elimination-style tournament. This tournament will be open to the public and many important foreign leaders will also be attending, which is another reason for the delay. Even if you do not win your match, if the judges which include both myself and the Kazekage feel you are qualified then you will pass. This means that anywhere from 0 to all 10 of you could potentially become. Still, winning is a good idea as you will have more chances to impress the judges and the winner usually ends up coming off better in a fight. Remember, though, brute strength isn't all that's required to be a. You must also show some skill in strategizing, dealing with the unexpected when it is better to temporarily retreat and above all you must meet a minimum sanity requirement. I know many of the best shinobi are often rather unbalanced, so the bar isn't very high, but we've learned the hard way that dangerously unstable genin who go on to become dangerously unstable and have access to more power is rarely, if ever, a good thing. Any questions? What, exactly, is the minimum sanity requirement? Gaara spoke up. We look down on spontaneous killing of allies, manic laughter, a personal issue you habitually let get in the way of your fights, and anyone more youthful than Mido Guy, Minato replied. Any other questions? No one said anything, so after a moment, he continued with Anko's going to be coming around with a box full of paper slips. You are each to draw one and the number you have will determine your matchups in the tournament. Don't worry, Gaara, Naruto assured him. Anko met the MSR. Barely, I'm sure, but still. MSR? Temari asked. Minimum sanity requirement, Naruto responded. Anko stepped forward with the aforementioned box and went around to the 10 genin still in the examination and had them each pick a number. Kiba noticeably tensed when she got near him, but Anko did no more than smirk at him, probably because both her fiancé and Yondaime were watching. Alright, one by one I want each of you to tell me what number you picked and Ibiki will let you know where you've ended up in the tournament, Minato instructed once they were finished. 1, Shino began. 9, Kiba said. 3, Naruto said. 7, Sakura said. 10, Sasuke said. 4, Lee shouted. Neji rolled his eyes. 8, 6, Temari said. 2, said Gaara. Shikamaru yawned. 5. Okay. Ibiki said, filling in people's names by their number. That means the first round is Shino vs Gaara, Naruto vs Lee, Shikamaru vs Temari, Sakura vs Neji, and Kiba vs Sasuke. Naruto gulped and quickly stepped to the other side of Sasuke, but Sakura was too busy gaping in horror to do anything to him for jinxing her. For the moment, at least. The winner of the first match will get a bye, Ibiki started to say. Wait, I thought there were no byes. Kankuro interrupted. Didn't the proctor say that back when what's-his-name quit? Why wouldn't they have to fight themselves? That's only if there were an odd number, Obito explained. 10 people is a nice even number so a bye is acceptable in this case. You people are all insane, Kankuro said flatly. Temari elbowed him. Be more polite to the people who can make our attempts to become a lot harder. Why? Kankuro asked. I'm already out. But I'm not, Temari reminded him. And I have to fight the laziest person I have ever met. How in the world am I supposed to make that match awesome? Sorry, Kankuro apologized. As I was saying, Ibiki continued, glaring darkly at Kankuro for daring to interrupt him, the winner of the second match faced the winner of the third, and the winner of the fourth match faced the winner of the fifth. After that, the winner of the first and last match of the second round will face each other, while the winner of the second gets a bye, and then the two still in the competition will face off. Damn, Sasuke swore. What's wrong? Naruto asked, still hiding behind him. If I win all my fights, I have one more match than my opponent, Sasuke explained. Sucks for you, Naruto said flippantly. Sasuke turned and glared at him. I wouldn't be so uncaring towards my human shield if I were you. Naruto risked a glance at Sakura and saw that she had sufficiently recovered from her shock and was advancing menacingly on him. I'm sorry. Please don't let her kill me. So all of your kids made it to the finals, Obito noted as the two of them sat in Kakashi's living room once the exam had officially been halted for the month. Kakashi sighed mournfully. Yeah. They did. That's a good thing, Obito reminded him. You wanted them to make it. Didn't you? Of course I did. Kakashi snapped. Good, because for a second there I was starting to worry that you were trying to infect them with the springtime of youth, and if that were the case, well. Obito trailed off dramatically. I just don't think I would have known you anymore. Kakashi rolled his eyes. I'm not that evil as to wish that on somebody. Although forcing them to do it is another matter entirely, Obito said sarcastically. Choosing to ignore the sarcasm, Kakashi nodded. Exactly. So why are you so upset if you got what you wanted? Obito asked. They can't pass the exam if they're not in the finals. Sasuke can beat Kiba, no doubt about it, Kakashi explained. I think Naruto can beat Lee, but even if he can't he'll give a good show. Sakura, however. It's not like I don't have a girl, because I do, it's just. She's up against Neji. The only way this would be worse was if she were up against Gaara. Well, that's something, right? Obito said, trying to be optimistic. I guess Kakashi conceded. But she's going to lose. And badly. You didn't tell her that, did you? Obito asked anxiously. Because even if you think she doesn't stand a chance, encouragement is a lot more productive than discouragement. Unless the person being encouraged is Sasuke and the subject is revenge, Kakashi murmured. And then it is a very bad idea indeed, no matter how much Anko might want a kindred spirit. So you didn't tell her, did you? Obito repeated. Kakashi shook his head. Didn't need to. Why do you think she attacked Naruto after the matchups were announced? Obito shrugged. She didn't pass the minimum sanity requirement. No, she does, Kakashi assured him. Especially after she integrated that split personality of hers. What's this about a split personality? Obito asked, concerned. It's all gone, no need to worry. Kakashi insisted. If you say so, Obito said, still sounding suspicious. She's sane enough, Kakashi said dismissively. But still. Neji. He seemed skilled from what I saw, Obito agreed. But then again, his fight was over in 2 hits, so it is entirely possible that that Suna guy was just really pathetic. He's not, Kakashi reported. And it's not just that Neji's insanely good. Then what is it? Obito prompted. He's Guy's student, and Kakashi responded. Ah, Obito said knowingly. You don't want to lose to your eternal rival. Kakashi groaned. Not to sound like Neji or anything, but it's seriously starting to seem like I'm fated to be Guy's rival. You're the one who ignored his speech about youthfulness when you first met and convinced him you were hip, Obito pointed out. What can I say? Kakashi asked rhetorically. I was feeling nostalgic. Nostalgic? Obito queried, puzzled. And if that weren't bad enough, Kakashi said loudly, ignoring the question. Naruto's fighting Lee, who is also Guy's student and is, what's more, his protege. If either of them lose or God forbid, both I will never live this down. Ever. Obito was quiet for a moment. So should I start looking into long-term missions now or closer to the task itself? Kakashi threw a pillow at him. Tsunade-sama. Sakura asked, walking up to her once and hopefully soon to be mentor at her office in the hospital. Yes. Tsunade asked, gratefully looking up from her stack of paperwork. My name is Haruno Sakura and I've made it to the final part of the Chunin exam, Sakura began. I'm up against Hyuga Neji and I'm really going to need all the help I can get. Why come to me? Tsunade asked neutrally. I'm a medic and that won't do much good against a Hyuga. Not if you have any standards of ethics, no, it won't, Sakura agreed, thinking of Kabuto. But this isn't just about the exams. Really? Tsunade raised her eyebrows. I think I recognize your name. You're on Kakashi's team, right? Sakura nodded. I am. I've heard that you're intelligent and have a strong spirit, Tsunade remarked. And also that if you don't make it he's making you train with Guy for a year. That seems like a pretty strong incentive. The strongest, Sakura admitted. But that's not my only reason. If I don't pass this time, there will be other times. I'd really like to pass this time, for my sanity if nothing else, but I can handle it if I don't. I intend to be a medic though, and I know you're the best. Even if you can't help me with Neji, which I refuse to believe, just so you know you'll be able to help me help my team when all of this is over. Tsunade studied her for a moment. It's not easy to train a medic nin, you know. Medical ninjas require different skills compared to ninjas who focus on fighting. You must have every aspect of your chakra control refined to perfection, study a large amount of specialized knowledge, have the ability to apply that knowledge and never give up. I know, Sakura said seriously. It's not like I know nothing about the subject. I've studied quite a bit and have put in a lot of hours at the hospital since I've graduated. All things considered, I'm pretty good at it. But I could always be better and I need to be better because God knows Naruto and Sasuke don't actually understand the meaning of you can't do it, you're going to get yourself killed or you're in over your head. A small smile came to Tsunade's lips. Is that so? Sakura nodded vehemently. Oh, you have no idea. And now with Orochimaru after Sasuke. I mean, I know he's in custody, but I can't help but worry. They're so reckless. It's like they're trying to get themselves killed and it's up to me to try and stop them. Alright, Tsunade agreed. I'll train you. But I'm not taking it easy on you from now on, she warned. Sakura beamed. Excellent. The finals are in only a month, after all. My teammates and I passed the preliminaries, Sasuke announced. Itachi looked up from the scroll he was reading. Congratulations. You don't sound very surprised, Sasuke noted. I'm not, you're very talented. You don't sound very excited, Itachi countered. It's just the preliminaries, Sasuke explained. I'm going to have to fight Kiba, no big deal, then either Neji or Sakura, then Gaara, then either Naruto or Lee, all within a couple of hours. You don't have to win the tournament in order to pass, you know, Itachi pointed out. You did. Sasuke burst out. On your first try when you were 10. I was also a genin for 3 years as opposed to your 3 months or so, Itachi reminded him. But this isn't about what I did, this is about you. Sasuke sighed. I know. I just really need to pass this. Desperately. A small smile crossed Itachi's face. So I've heard. I've also heard you have a month before you have to be ready. Would you like me to help you? Yes, Sasuke said practically before his brother finished offering. Some things never did change. Train me, Naruto ordered. Not interested, Jiraiya said, scribbling away on his notes. You're my godfather, you have to be interested, Naruto said, rolling his eyes. I don't remember signing anything, Jiraiya insisted. That doesn't necessarily mean you didn't, Naruto claimed. For all you know, my dad slipped you the form while you were busy ogling the girls at the onsen. That sounds more like something Kushina would do, Jiraiya mused. Naruto just shrugged. Well, since the godparents are generally decided upon prior to the baby being born, she presumably had a say in it too, so that very well could have happened. I've got research to do, get your dad to train you, Jiraiya said. My dad's kind of busy being the Hokage and orchestrating the exam, Naruto pointed out. Then get Kakashi to train you, Jiraiya tried again. He threatened to send me to the closet pervert, Naruto complained. Ibisu's not that bad, Jiraiya felt compelled to defend his fellow pervert, even if he was closeted about it. Not when it comes to the basics, no, but I've already long since mastered those, Naruto informed him. Then what do you want me to teach you? Jiraiya challenged. The cool stuff, Naruto replied promptly. Jiraiya raised his eyebrows. The cool stuff, huh? Naruto nodded eagerly. And I want to sign a summon contract. You've got grand ambitions, kid, Jiraiya said fondly. So will you do it? Naruto asked hopefully. I'm going to need some incentive, Jiraiya hinted. I'll show you my H-Remyu no Jutsu, Naruto offered. Absolutely not, Minato cut in. I am not having my son going off anywhere with someone he could only convince to train him through seduction. Especially not my 13-year-old son. You're no fun, Naruto huffed. Minato rolled his eyes. Excuse me for being a responsible adult. Yeah, that's really annoying, Naruto complained. Just train him, okay? Minato asked. I might be around for a little while, but things are really hectic right now. Jiraiya sighed. Fine. But if he wants to sign with the Toads, I'm going to need to get him drunk. You know how it is. I'm going to need to be there to supervise that, Minato warned. What? You don't trust me? Jiraiya asked, looking winded. You know I do, sensei. On the other hand, you're really not the best with kids. Minato-sensei. Kakashi called, running up to them, Hibiki in tow. Kakashi? Minato looked a little confused. What's wrong? Orochimaru, Kakashi said shortly. Minato and Jiraiya both became much more focused while Naruto stayed quiet and hoped they wouldn't remember they weren't supposed to talk about things like that in front of him. Did something happen with the interrogation? Minato demanded. Did you learn anything? That's just it. We never finished it, Hibiki said. Why not? Minato pressed. I left the room for something I don't even remember what, and when I got back all of the Anbu guards were dead and Orochimaru was gone, Hibiki recounted. Orochimaru managed to escape. Jiraiya asked, alarmed. Hibiki shook his head. Not alone, he said grimly. What do you mean? Minato asked. I found this note on the interrogation table, Hibiki said, handing said note to Minato. Dear Shinobi-san, Minato read aloud, Tobi needed Irohibi-senpai, so Tobi went and got him. Sorry if you need him too, but this does not mean Tobi is not a good boy. Toby. What the hell? Jiraiya said eloquently. If Orochimaru has an accomplice powerful enough to break him out of the T&I, then it's probably the Akatsuki, Kakashi theorized. They would be a lot more powerful than his little collection of lost boys. But what's he planning? Jiraiya wondered. He suddenly seemed to remember Naruto was there. Hey, kid, I'll train you, but now's really not the best time. Meet me here tomorrow, okay? Okay, Naruto agreed reluctantly before leaving. Madara was back. Crap. Naruto wasn't sure why, exactly, but he knew it couldn't be good. Now what was the best way to break the news to Sasuke without triggering his revenge impulse? Chapter 17. So did you find out if you got promoted yet? Kaisuke asked his daughter. Sakura shook her head. The exam's not over yet. Then shouldn't you be doing some exam type thing? Momoko asked. We're having a month-long break before the final stage, which is an elimination-style tournament, Sakura explained. It's open to the public, so if you guys want to come, feel free. Her parents exchanged a look. I'm not sure, Sakura, Momoko said slowly. You might get hurt. Sakura couldn't help rolling her eyes. That kind of comes with the territory, Mom. I know that. Momoko exclaimed. But knowing and seeing are two different things, and it would just make me worry more. On the other hand, this seems to be a pretty big deal, and I've heard all sorts of foreign dignitaries are going to be arriving, Kaisuke noted. How do you think you're doing so far? My team and I have been doing pretty well, Sakura said modestly. But the next part is testing us individually and I'm up against Neji. And that's bad. Momoko asked cautiously. He's insanely talented, Sakura replied. But I'm going to give it my all anyway and hope that even should I lose I'll put on a good enough show to pass anyway. You should be more confident, Kaisuke told her. I'm sure you'll do fine. Yes, you've worked very hard these past few months and you should be proud of yourself, Momoko agreed. I better do more than fine, Tsuruka said. Otherwise. That much springtime of youth will haunt me forever. What on earth is the springtime of youth? Kaisuke wondered. Sakura shuddered. Trust me, you don't want to know. I will never understand ninja, Momoko declared, shaking her head. That's probably for the best, Sakura told her. Now I have to go to a team meeting before I have to meet with Tsunade-sama. She probably should have left already, but Naruto had given her a heads up about the subject matter and she was just as uncertain about how to break the news to Sasuke. The medic? Kaisuke asked. She's training you? Sakura smiled triumphantly. Yeah, she is. What in the world was so important that it couldn't wait until after training? Sasuke asked. Kakashi wasn't there yet, but he didn't have all day, so he figured they could just start without him, seeing as how Naruto was the one to call the meeting. Well. Naruto trailed off. Yeah, it's really big, Sakura told him. And we're actually not quite sure how to let you know this. You could try just spitting it out, Sasuke suggested. We could, Naruto agreed. But with such a delicate topic as this, that might not be the most tactful way of handling the situation. Sasuke snorted. What do you know about tactful? Not much, Naruto admitted, which is why even though I don't think that's the best way to handle it, it really isn't the best way. Not to mention that we're not sure how you'll react, Sakura added. She paused. No, scratch that. We're almost positive we know exactly how you're going to react and that's why we don't want to tell you. Then don't tell me, Sasuke said. Or at least work out how you're going to do it. In the meantime, I really do need to get started on my training. No. Naruto and Sakura shouted at the same time. Sasuke raised his eyebrows. What's this? One would almost think you don't want me to get stronger. You aren't afraid I'm going to try and leave to seek vengeance on anyone, do you? Perpetually, Sakura replied. But that's not it. It's just. Something big has happened and you're going to find out sooner or later and we'd rather you hear it from us. Then tell me, Sasuke ordered, beginning to sound impatient. Well, you see. Naruto began, sounding rather nervous. Hey, look, it's Gaara. Hi Gaara. Gaara, who had been passing by the bridge they were standing on, stopped and turned to face him. Yes. So how have you been? Naruto asked. Gaara blinked. Since yesterday. Naruto looked a little sheepish. Yes. I know I can win my matches, Gaara said simply. But to not pass the minimum sanity requirement would make this entire trip a waste of my time. Not a complete waste, hopefully, since you met us and we're awesome, Naruto objected. I still want to be, Gaara told him. Naruto shrugged. Fair enough. What were the things Dad mentioned? No being more youthful than Guy, I think you're safe with that. There was also no maniacal laughter, Sakura added. Do you do that? Very rarely, Gaara replied. And not since I've been here. There was also no killing allies. How many people have you killed since you got here? Naruto asked. Gaara thought about it for a minute. The man I fought in the preliminaries and the 3 from the Forest of Death, he said finally. Well, Zaku wasn't from Suna, and if they didn't expect deaths in the forest they wouldn't have made us sign the waiver, Naruto decided. But wait. Didn't Kiba say his team got a scroll from those corpses? If he only killed one team, then how did they get a scroll? Sakura asked. Maybe the team had already gotten 2 scrolls and Temari only took the one they needed, Sasuke suggested. That makes sense, Sakura decided. And the last thing would be don't let personal issues habitually get in the way of your fights. What does that entail? Gaara wanted to know. Well. Naruto trailed off. I guess it means that if you had a crappy childhood, don't keep bringing it up when you're fighting people, or if you were dealt a rotten hand, don't stop in the middle of a fight and lecture people about how they should stop trying to fight fate because they are destined to be losers. In your case, I suppose that would mean not mentioning any resentment you might feel about being a Jinchuriki. Gaara nodded. I can do that. It's only a month after all. That's the spirit. Naruto cheered. Goodbye, Gaara said before continuing on his way. Think he can do it? Sakura asked as she watched him leave. Naruto shrugged. No idea. But it should be good practice for actually becoming sane and with luck Kazekage in the future. If you're quite done with that, I would like to remind you that I have a rather one-track mind and still want to know what was so goddamn important. Sasuke brought them back on topic. We know, Sakura muttered. Yo, Kakashi waved as he appeared in a whirl of leaves. So how did he take it? Do we need to put anyone in protective custody? How did I take what? Sasuke demanded. We didn't actually get around to telling him yet, Naruto admitted. I can see that, Kakashi said, looking horrified. Well, in that case. Good luck and I'll be back in 20 minutes. Like hell you will. Sakura said, grabbing his arm. You know more about it than either of us, anyway. You know, I'm sure that whatever it is cannot possibly be as bad as the scenarios I'm envisioning, Sasuke told them. It's probably worse, actually, Naruto disagreed. He took a deep breath. Madara broke Orochimaru out of custody. There was silence for a moment. Sasuke? Naruto asked, waving a hand in front of Sasuke's face. Maybe he's in shock, Kakashi suggested. Could you repeat that? Sasuke said, his voice low. I would rather not, Naruto confessed. Sakura sighed and did as requested. Madara broke Orochimaru out of custody. So Orochimaru is no longer in Konoha, Sasuke stated. No, he probably is, Kakashi corrected. We just don't know where he is and he must have come here for a reason and unless that reason was annoying Ibiki, he still has whatever mission he's on to accomplish. This wouldn't have happened if you had just let me kill him, Sasuke felt compelled to remind them. How did I know he was going to say that? Sakura asked rhetorically. We had no way of knowing he would escape. Naruto burst out. No one escapes because anyone who could doesn't get captured in the first place. And Madara rescued him. Sasuke continued as if he didn't hear them. He did, Kakashi confirmed. How do you know? Did anyone see him? Sasuke demanded. Well, no, Kakashi admitted. But he did leave a note that said, Tobi needs Irohibi-senpai, so Tobi went and got him. Sorry if you need him too, but this does not mean Tobi is not a good boy. Tobi, so we felt reasonably sure that this was him. Unless there is actually a real Tobi running around and joining the Akatsuki that acted just like Madara did when he was pretending to be him. That's highly unlikely, Sakura noted. Right, Sasuke nodded. If you'll excuse me. Wait, where are you going? Naruto demanded, somewhat panicked. I'm going to go find Orochimaru and Madara and then I'm going to kill them, Sasuke answered as he continued to walk away. Naruto, naturally, decided that there was only one thing he could do in this situation. Tackle Sasuke. What the hell, Naruto? Sasuke growled. They are dangerous enemies of Konoha and since they are actually in the village I wouldn't even have to leave. You might be able to beat Orochimaru right now, Naruto said, still not getting off of his friend. I think you'd stand a far better chance after you train with Itachi this month and if the 3 of us are with you, but you could potentially pull it off. Just the same, there is no way that you could beat Madara right now. You remember how hard it was before and we were 16. We were way stronger than we are now and the match could have gone either way. Besides, Madara has the full power of the Akatsuki on his side now. Do you really want to face Orochimaru, Madara, Sasori, possibly Deidara, Kisame, Kakuzu, Haiden, Zetsu, Konan, and Nagato all at once? It'll be fine, Sasuke insisted. Naruto groaned. Oh god, he's delusional. You started him on the topic of revenge, what do you expect? Kakashi asked rhetorically. Naruto glared at him. It's not my fault Madara showed up. This isn't just some stupid grudge, Sasuke bit out. Madara didn't just screw my family over by creating an antagonistic relationship with the rest of the village and summoning the Kyuubi to attack right before Naruto was born, prompting my brother to feel the need to kill everyone and spend the next 8 years playing at being evil in Akatsuki, but he also destroyed half the village, made Naruto a pariah, formed Akatsuki, and had Konoha completely destroyed as well as declaring war on everyone. If he's not stopped, he'll just do it again. That man won't stop, can't stop until he destroys Konoha. That's very sound reasoning, Sakura applauded. But you're still only saying that because you want vengeance. No, I'm not, Sasuke denied. Maybe we can compromise, Kakashi suggested. Sasuke glared at him. Compromise? How can we compromise? I want to kill both Madara and Orochimaru. You don't want me to go off and kill either of them. So, would I only get to kill one of them or something? And get off of me, Naruto. Not until you promise not to run away, Naruto said stubbornly. I won't leave to seek vengeance until after this conversation is over, Sasuke promised. Naruto didn't budge. And the conversation isn't over until we say it's over. Sasuke rolled his eyes. Fine, whatever. Naruto got up and, looking highly affronted, Sasuke climbed to his feet. It's too bad Kiba wasn't here, Sakura mused. He could have done a lot with that. Feeling the full force of both boys' glares on her, she quickly amended, I mean, it's a good thing Kiba wasn't here. He never would have let that go. We could let you kill one and not the other, Kakashi agreed once that was sorted out. But that's really only the most basic form. And it's not like we don't want you to kill them, Sasuke snorted. We just don't want you to kill them right now, Kakashi continued, studiously ignoring him. Whatever they're planning, it's not going to take place today because if they're going to do something during the exams when there's so much increased security, they're going to wait until the tournament like Orochimaru did with his little invasion. Take this month, train obsessively, and then if and when they try anything, you can be there to try and seek vengeance. Let me get this straight. You're okay with a plan that involves me seeking vengeance? Sasuke couldn't believe it. What happened to all that talk about how it won't make me feel better and it will just end up causing a circle of hatred or whatever? That's chain of hatred, Naruto helpfully corrected. I don't care, Sasuke said bluntly. I still believe that Kakashi informed him. But since there doesn't actually appear to be anything on the planet capable of convincing you that revenge is a bad idea, even though after all you've been through on your epic quest for it, you should be thoroughly convinced of it. I'm just advocating delaying it until you get a chance to get stronger and it will serve a greater purpose than just your need for vengeance. They could very well invade Konoha again and seek to destroy it, and you think it's a better idea to wait for that to happen than just taking them on now? Sasuke sounded incredulous. Yes, Kakashi said simply. Explain, Sasuke ordered. If that happens all of Konoha's finest will be out to try and minimize the damage and take out the invaders, and it won't just be a 13-year-old against two of the most dangerous people Konoha has ever produced, Kakashi pointed out. And God knows if Kakashi and I didn't do everything we could to stop you from dying in the name of revenge, Naruto would never speak to us again, Sakura added. Especially since we'd gotten you past that in one piece before we came back. Naruto nodded. It's true, I probably wouldn't. Sasuke tilted his head back as he tried to make a decision. On the one hand, he really wanted revenge. On the other hand, he didn't want to die before he got it. Or after, really, seeing as how his life was actually pretty good at the moment. Not to mention that he didn't trust his team not to go back again and this time blame the massacre on some fictional person and then have Kakashi kill him so he wouldn't even be able to have a target for his hatred. In the spirit of compromise, Sasuke decided. I'm willing to wait until the end of the exam. After that, if they haven't tried anything, I'm going after them. Kakashi nodded. Fair enough. But if they're not still in Konoha, you can't leave until we get assigned a mission outside of the village because you're not allowed to become a missing nin again. Agreed, Sasuke said grudgingly. Did we just manage to talk Sasuke into postponing his revenge? Sakura couldn't believe it. I put it off 3 years after I left Konoha because I needed to train under Orochimaru, Sasuke pointed out. What's one more month? We are officially miracle workers, Naruto decided. Let's meet up for ramen tonight after you guys are done with your training to celebrate, Kakashi suggested. Hey. It just occurred to me that even though you're our teacher and all the other Jounin senseis are teaching their students personally, you couldn't be bothered to help us, so we had to find our own instructors. Naruto realized. I offered Ibisu, Kakashi defended himself. But you already more than made sure that we knew about tree climbing and water walking, Sakura reminded him. And doesn't he specialize in teaching the basics? Well, it was kind of a given that Itachi would work with Sasuke and Jiraiya as Naruto's godfather. Kakashi replied. What about me? Tsunade had no reason to agree to train me and you didn't even help with that. Sakura countered. Hey, isn't it enough that I'm your cover for everything you know that you're not supposed to? Kakashi demanded. His three students exchanged looks. No. Sasuke, Itachi called out. Are you almost done? We need to start training. Yeah, Sasuke nodded. We're done here. He hesitated, wondering if he should say anything. They were letting me know that Orochimaru escaped. Itachi blinked. Did he? I hope you're not planning on going after him. Of course not, Sasuke said, sounding shocked. I have the upcoming exams to worry about. I can worry about taking down Orochimaru once I've gotten stronger. I'm glad, Itachi said approvingly. That's a very mature outlook for you to take. Mature. Naruto repeated incredulously as the two Uchiha walked away. Is he kidding? Well, since he doesn't exactly want to come off too strong about how much he wants to kill the one supposedly responsible for the massacre to the person who was actually responsible for it and doesn't think it's anyone else's business, we're probably the only ones who get to see how obsessed he really is, Sakura pointed out. In fact, given that he can vent to us, he probably comes off as quite mature and well-adjusted to everyone else. Kakashi said what everyone was thinking. Now that is a frightening prospect. Chapter 18. I should get going, too, Sakura said. If Tsunade-sensei is even remotely as scary as I remember, I do not want to be late. I think you're overreacting, Kakashi told her. After all, with all her concern about not appearing her true age, her reaction to Naruto christening her Bachan was relatively mild. In fact, I think you actually reacted harsher to Naruto being an idiot or insulting Sasuke, and that was before you had training under her. Yeah, Sakura acknowledged. But the MSR wasn't put into play until after Tsunade-sensei made Jounin. Kakashi shuddered at the possible implications. Sakura-chan, Naruto said as he also set off towards where he was to meet his teacher. Unlike Sakura, however, he knew Jiraiya wouldn't care if he was late and might not even notice, depending on whether or not he was feeling inspired. He really hoped that they weren't supposed to be training by the onsen again, as if that was the case Jiraiya would want the chance to let loose. Well, not really inner, but sometimes thinly disguised, perverted, and if nothing else the first day wouldn't be one with a lot of downtime. Why are you following me? Naruto asked without bothering to turn around. Kakashi shrugged. I've got nothing better to do. Because you can't be bothered to teach your students anything, Naruto accused. Is it really my fault all of my students already know the basic skills they need to have to become because they're time travelers? Kakashi asked rhetorically. Naruto did stop then so he could turn around and give Kakashi an incredulous look. Okay, so maybe it is, Kakashi conceded. But since as you so graciously pointed out I'm not doing much in terms of your training this month, I should probably meet up with your father to see what he wants me to do about Orochimaru's escape and make sure everyone is convinced that the Akatsuki are involved because aside from Jiraiya, I'm really the only adult who would have any way of knowing about Tobi's connection to them. That's disturbingly responsible of you, Naruto noted. But then, I guess the prospect of a mass Akatsuki invasion is serious enough to warrant that. Indeed it is, Kakashi agreed. That still doesn't explain why you're following me, though, Naruto pointed out. If there's any chance you're getting the summoning today and, as such, are obligated to get completely wasted, your father's going to be there, Kakashi pointed out. So by following you I can see him. You know, speaking of my father, Naruto said slowly. He's supposed to be this super awesome ninja, right? I mean, I've never really seen him in action, but his reputation precedes him. I should think you haven't. Kakashi exclaimed. As one of the few responsible adults in the ninja world, he would have killed anyone that was supposed to be watching you who let you anywhere near a situation that required him to use his skills. That sucks, Naruto huffed. I mean, I suppose I can appreciate the sentiment, but still. Were you going somewhere with this? Kakashi wondered. Naruto looked puzzled. What? Oh, right. If my father's so amazing that his entry in the bingo book says to flee on sight, why in the world would Suna or anyone, for that matter, agree to attack the village he's cage of? Your father's Hiraishin no Jutsu is much more effective with an ally, so if they can isolate him like Orochimaru did with the Sandaime and the barrier, they would stand a much better chance of an actual fight. And if Akatsuki manage to control or replace the Kazukiage, Suna's going to invade regardless of how stupid and suicidal they might think it is. Remember the rather unfortunate tendency most ninja have of seeing themselves as tools to be used? Kakashi asked. True, Naruto nodded. When did you get out of that mindset? Kakashi shrugged. Well, it started when I decided my team was more important than a mission back before you were even born and culminated when I went back in time and have spent 12 or 13 years as a close personal friend of the Hokage. That would do it, I guess. Hey look, it's teammate. Greetings Hinata, Shino, Kurenai, Naruto called out, waving. Aren't you forgetting someone? Hinata asked quietly. Oh, right, Naruto realized. Hi Akamaru. Long time, no see. She meant me, you idiot, Kiba grumbled. Oh, it's the yaoi fanboy, Naruto said, making a face. I am not a fanboy. Kiba insisted. You two are just so not subtle. What are you guys doing? Naruto asked, ignoring that. Hinata and I are helping Shino and Kiba prepare for the finals, Kurenai answered. Really? But don't they run the risk of fighting against each other? Kakashi asked. That's why most teams that have more than one member find different instructors for the genin that would benefit less from their personal instruction. Or make them find their own, Naruto muttered. You and Sasuke came with built-in teachers and I offered Ibisu for Sakura but she made other arrangements, Kakashi reminded him. Due to the nature of this tournament, Kiba being number 9 and me being number 1, we would not face each other until the finals and the odds of both of us making it to the final round is very small. Additionally, I would be fighting 2 matches before and then 3, so it is not like any new techniques would remain a secret, and as teammates we already know each other's fighting style, Shino explained. Naruto just stood there, gaping. Are you alright, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked, sounding concerned. Yeah. I just have never heard Shino say that much before, Naruto confessed. Ever. Hey, Naruto, since I'm fighting your secret boyfriend, do you have any tips for me? Kiba asked. He is not my secret boyfriend. Naruto cried. Well, you've yet to come out to me, Kiba replied. So. Do you? Despite the fact I want Sasuke to win, I suppose I could warn you not to do anything to trigger his revenge impulse, as that's partly for my sake as well, Naruto told him. Kiba groaned. Too late for that. Although in my defense, our siblings are dating. That's such a wonderful opportunity to annoy him. He didn't sound nearly as concerned as Naruto thought he should be, but if Naruto managed to keep Sasuke a genin by exposing his revenge impulses, Sasuke would very likely kill him, so he let it go. Well then you're not going to have a fun match. Naruto turned to the other member of teammate that was in the finals. And Shino, I know you didn't ask, but in the interest of fairness, Gaara said that he's going to try not to kill anyone, so he has a better chance of making it, but don't push your luck. Shino nodded his gratitude. That sounds like sound advice. That was very thoughtful, Naruto-kun, Hinata told him, smiling. Naruto shrugged. Yeah well. We should let you get back to your training. After Sakura had arrived, she found out that Tsunade was in the middle of a surgery, so Shizune had given Sakura a very thorough examination on the basics. She could tell that she impressed the dark-haired girl, and afterwards she was quickly shown to the slug Sannin. Before we begin, Tsunade said, do you have any idea what you want to specialize in? We don't have time to make you an expert in what you choose to do, but keeping in mind how you'd like to utilize your skills is always a smart move. Not really, Sakura confessed. Do you have any suggestions? Not without seeing you in action, no, Tsunade said, shaking her head. Some medic nin focus on animals, medical ninjutsu can be used to kill through the creation of deadly poisons, or by using your extensive knowledge of the humanity anatomy to deliver powerful blows to sensitive locations. I myself have a reputation for being able to cure any illness that comes my way. I heard from Sasuke that you managed to make the Mangekyou Sharingan safe for him to use, Sakura said, sounding a little awed despite herself. Tsunade nodded and Sakura could see a glimmer of pride in her eyes. Took me the better part of 2 years to do, but I managed it. So what are we going to start with? Sakura asked eagerly. You have the basics mastered, which means we won't have to waste time covering those. Instead, we can work on making sure that you're going to be able to stay conscious and uninjured long enough to make use of them, Tsunade informed her innocently. Sakura knew better though, and her eyes widened in horror. You mean? Tsunade nodded. That's right, she said gleefully. We're going to work on your taijutsu, which means that for the next few days you're going to be my own personal punching bag. Sakura groaned. It probably still wouldn't be enough to beat Neji. I've heard that you've done extensive work on taijutsu with Kakashi these past few months, Itachi started off by saying. Of course, I'd still like to see that for myself to see how much progress you've made. Your speed, in particular, is very important. But first, do you still have any questions about the Mangekyou Sharingan, or do you think you have that down? I have a question about the Tsukiyomi, Sasuke said. I know it is one of the if not the most powerful in existence, but what can it do? When I was using it on Orochimaru, I trapped him in a looped memory of Ino and Sakura, dragging me with them when they went shopping. Itachi raised his eyebrow. That was what you did? He was comatose for nearly a week. Sasuke shrugged. It certainly traumatized me. It will only get worse when you get older, Itachi promised him. Fortunately, Hana's not very interested in shopping. Lucky, Sasuke muttered. To answer your question, the Tsukiyomi can't serve as anything really as it traps the target in an illusionary world that is completely controlled by the user. While it only takes a few seconds for the user to complete, for the target it can seem like days. I've found that either torture the target or make them relive a traumatic event over and over for what seems like days is highly effective, Itachi told him. So it doesn't even have to be used as torture, Sasuke mused. I suppose not, Itachi agreed. But it's such a powerful and chakra-draining technique that unless you needed to quickly incapacitate your target or wanted to traumatize them, it isn't worth using. Anything else you might want to do with it, they are probably less powerful for. Does it really matter what you use to traumatize them? Sasuke asked. Because, say, if I felt the need to go after my teammates, I could show them a world where everyone was eating ramen, but they couldn't have any or take them back to their fangirl days, respectively. Or if it were Kakashi or Obito, I could just overrun them with squirrels, as that seems to remind them of some sort of traumatizing mission they had in the past. If you knew enough about them you could certainly do that, Itachi nodded. Although if they are your opponent, you probably won't get the chance to learn that much about them. He paused. And one of these days we have to get that story from them. Okay, I want you to show me what you can do and then, if you've improved enough, at the end of the month, I'll show you how to do the Rasengan, Jiraiya promised. Even though your dad would probably kill me. Ah, well, I have a month to talk him around. Actually, Iro-senin, I already know how to do that, Naruto told him. Jiraiya's eyes widened. What? How? Your father's way too overprotective to teach you himself or to let you anywhere near me anytime I might have been drunk enough to try and not remember doing so afterwards. Kakashi showed me how Naruto lied. Jiraiya's eyes widened even further. But. Kakashi can't do it. Naruto shrugged. He still knew how to teach it to me. Prove it, Jiraiya demanded. Okay, Naruto said, forming his wind release. Rasengan. He quickly threw it at a nearby tree. Hey, watch it, Kakashi, who was talking with Minato not 5 feet away from said tree, said. Sorry, I can't hold onto it for too long because it cuts my hand, Naruto said. What? Minato demanded. How did my son learn the Rasengan and modify it? I mean, I've made some adjustments over the years, but never in front of him and none that were self-injuring. I heal fast, see, Naruto held up his hand to show the already healing cuts. My bad, Kakashi said, making sure to back away quickly. But hey, I only described the basic Rasengan you showed me all those years ago. The size and inclusion of his wind affinity was all on him. Minato shook his head. You know, the other Jounin instructors teach their kids how to use their clan abilities or control their chakra. Oh, I taught them plenty of chakra exercises, didn't I, Naruto? Kakashi asked, grinning evilly. Naruto nodded quickly. More than enough. Still, you're kind of a bizarre teacher, Minato said. I had to have gotten it from somewhere, Kakashi said pointedly. I blame Jiraiya-sensei, Minato said quickly. He's a bad influence. And now to cement your opinion of me as a terrible influence, if the kid's got the Rasengan down so well he not only saw room for improvement but actually did manage to improve it, he's ready to sign the Toad summoning scroll, Jiraiya spoke up. I brought the sake, Kakashi announced, taking out a summoning scroll and activating it. Minato shook his head ruefully. I can't believe I'm allowing this. I must be the worst parent ever. Naruto snorted. Not even close, Dad. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy it. If you want the next part of this video, turn on that bell notification. Like, subscribe and comment down below. And also check out the others videos I have created and enjoyed it. See you guys next video.